Hi there everyone, this is Emmy. I'm going to show you how to make these very easy ruffled flowers. I've made one up here in a lighter color because I'm not quite sure how well you can see the darker ones, but we'll continue with the process with the darker ones. But here's a lovely example of one done in lighter summery colors. Use them to embellish hats or scarves, purses, bags, barrettes, headbands, make a brooch. They're very easy to make, very quick to make. They don't take very much fabric, and you'll be done in no time. Let me just show you how we're going to make those today. Here's what you're going to need. You're going to need some fabric. I'll tell you in a moment. Just a small strip. This is all you need for one flower. You're going to need thread, some buttons, a needle, and some scissors. Okay, so let's get started. This is what we're going to make, and this is what we need. What I have cut here is a strip of fabric, and it is 14 inches long and about 2.5 inches wide. You know, the actual size does not matter at all. And this is the same fabric that I used for this flower, but I'm going to use it the other way. I'm going to use it with the inside out, just to make a totally different look of a flower with the same fabric that we used. Okay, so all we're going to do to get started is we're going to take our needle and thread, and we're going to get a good secure end, because the last thing we want while we're making our flower is for it to come apart. Okay, so now you're just going to take some stitches, and they don't have to be close. They don't have to be anything spectacular. Just stitches. I've folded my fabric in half, by the way. You don't have to, but for this particular flower, we're going to fold it in half. Sometimes the frayed end is nice on a flower, so like I say, it's just an optional thing. And this is a knit fabric, just a polyester knit. Okay, so I'm just going to finish doing these stitches very quickly because it doesn't take very long. It's amazing how quickly it goes through. Alright, I'm pretty much done. Okay, there you have your gathered fabric. And we have a twist of our thread here. We'll get that right. It's okay. So here's our fabric gathered up. All you're going to do is gather it tightly. See, again, that's why we need some good strong thread. Gather it tightly. Bring the two ends together. Now, this is the important thing. You want to match the outside because you don't want it to wind up having a little uneven edge. So just take a stitch there and pull your gathers up tightly again and secure your gathers with a couple of stitches. And now you're just going to stitch these two ends together. And I'm using white thread. If you use the proper color of your fabric, then you know your stitches will totally disappear. Mine are going to show a little bit, but I'm using white thread on purpose. Okay? So I'm going to make a knot to end my seam, and I'm going to cut off my thread. I'm going to make a knot at the end of my thread to get ready to sew on the button. And here's what the flower looks like. There's the seam that we made. There's the back of the flower. And here's the front. So now all we have to do, I'm going to bring my thread through to prepare for sewing on my button. Oh, there we go. Let me get it good and secure here. Okay. So now we just have to choose a button. So we could put a white button. That would be cute. We could put a red button. That would be interesting. We could put this large, chunky button. That's another look. We could put this really interesting looking button. It looks good on either side. On this side it has a kind of a rock granite look. The other side is white. This wouldn't look good on here, but oh no, it doesn't look too bad. And here's the other thing. If you don't have a fancy button, how about you take one button, you just layer it with another button, so then you have a good look there too. So I think today I'll sew this button on. Okay, so we've got our needle and thread ready. Pass it through. We're going to sew our button on. Going to give it another couple of stitches here. Find my shank. Just like that. And if you want to make sure it's secure, you can take a few more stitches. In the interest of time today, I'm just going to do these two. And finish with a knot. Now you could leave your thread attached and sew it to whatever you're going to sew it to with that thread end, or if you're going to use it for other purposes, then just don't. But look, this is the same fabric. We've made two totally different flowers just by using the fabric inside out for one and right side out for the other. And this flower was made with fleece, and fleece doesn't ravel, so we didn't even have to fold it in half. We just used one strip about 1.5 inches wide by 12 inches long, and we were able to make this lovely flower. So that's it for today, and that's being brought to you today by allfreesewing.com. Drop by their site. They have lots of patterns and tutorials and tips and hints about sewing. So drop by sometime, and thanks for watching.